Hi everyone, it says I'm live and it's 1 minute to 7. I thought I would go live on my channel. I've never done it, I think, on this channel, so why not? I don't know if anyone's going to show up, but in any case, even if you're watching this after the live fact, I did want to give you some updates, and there have been a bunch of questions below some of my videos, and I wanted to go into some of those and just share a few things, what's going on, what are my thoughts, and I did give you just a recent update, like what's happening symptom-wise, so nothing has really changed. I feel good. We went to the public pool today after a couple of weeks of it being really, really unusually cold. I live in Germany. The summer has returned. Thankfully enough, we have a late summer and it's actually quite beautiful. And so I took my daughter and a friend of hers, and we went to the public pool today. That was really nice. However, it was really hard for me to lie on that hard ground. That was hard. But other than that, it was a really good day, and I just took a little bit of rest today. So, yeah, if anyone, I see a couple people on live here, but I wanted to share a few things. So the first thing, I've been doing a lot of reading, and I do watch a bunch of other channels here that are, about TTC for, in older women and also twin pregnancies. I've been following Simply Tanika for, I don't know, it's been years really. And there's one called Mama in the Middle. She's almost the same as me. And then there's Sandra TTC 45. She is also pregnant with twins. She's almost my age. I think she's 1 year older than me. But she has I think Momo twins, which is a lot more high risk. And she also has some things going on in her life that makes her a little bit more high risk. So I'm very grateful that so far in my pregnancy, there seems to be everything perfect. And also I don't really have any high risks other than, of course, statistically on paper, I'm older. As soon as you're over 35, you're like a risk, high risk pregnancy. And as soon as you carry more than one baby, you're automatically a high risk pregnancy, which statistically that is true, but it all depends on your individual case. So yes, I've been doing a lot of reading because, I want to try to do the best I can right now to, of course, help a positive outcome. And there are things I can't control. Definitely, I cannot control everything. But if I can do something, then I want to do whatever I can do. So, of course, I am working out. And the more I read about it, it's so beneficial to exercise regularly. You will want to listen to your body. And I think the most important thing is to really listen to your body. I feel that my body awareness over the past few years, ever since I've been, starting to live very healthy lifestyle, very intentional, my body awareness is so much better than it used to be in the past. Excuse me. Drink a load of water, which just got through eating actually. So exercising is so good. It does lower your risk for gestational diabetes, for high blood pressure, which is often an issue, especially when you carry more than one baby, even when you carry one later on. The more your pregnancy progresses, it becomes a risk factor. And also, diet is definitely important. And there are things you can eat to help very specific issues. And I think I'm very grateful that I actually managed, although I was so nauseous in my first trimester, I never threw up once. That's a good thing, but I was very, very nauseous. But I managed to eat really well and to eat, like even portion wise, I ate enough calories. And I think that is benefiting me now. Babies are growing nicely, and honestly, I'm telling you, it's so weird, and I don't know what it is. I talked to my midwife. I had an appointment a couple days ago, And I told her, I don't know what it is. Sometimes I feel so much pressure. I don't know if it's Braxton Hicks already, because sometimes I feel everything get hard, but it's not just my uterus. It's like my stomach way up here gets so tense. And then on my bladder, there's pressure. And I don't know, is it my bladder? Is it my digestion, like, the lower part? Or is it my uterus, or is it my stomach, or like it's everything sometimes, and it just gets so tight and tense. It's not bad or anything, but it feels almost like I'm doing a sit-up, but I'm not even doing anything. I'm not contracting muscles, but everything is contracting, but not just my uterus, and it's a weird thing. So I don't know what it is. In any case, I have been doing a lot of reading. Let me tell you, I have Kindle and I have a bunch of books on here. Since I am a minimalist, I try to not like have so many books on my shelf if I'm only gonna read them once. Like in this case, probably I'm only gonna read these books once. It's not anything I'm gonna read over and over and over again. So the first one, and I did mention these before, the first one I read was The Holistic Guide to Twin Pregnancy. It's kind of nice, but it's more like I have a lot of in-depth knowledge already about health and all this stuff. A lot of the stuff makes sense, but for me, there was not a lot of stuff in there that was new, you know. It's all very common sense. And let's see, what's her name? I can't even. Brianne Blame. That's her name. I feel like she makes it sound like twin pregnancies, like it's so hard. I bet it is. I'm not even I'm just now today 19 weeks. So I'm just starting my 20th week, which means potentially I'm at halftime now with twins. So but in any case, it will be a lot of work, but I'm always trying to feed myself a lot of positive things, and I'm just now getting more into watching videos about pain-free birth and hypnobirthing. I did read that book years ago before I had my daughter, and I didn't even finish it, but certain concepts really helped me. The concept of complete relaxation, even when you feel something getting tight and tense in your body, to try to focus and really concentrate on relaxing as much as you can, like every single muscle in your body, so that the muscle that wants to work, it's not voluntary, it just does it, right? Your uterus just does what it does, so that it can do its work. So I'm trying to apply that in my everyday life. Being a professional singer, even during the birth with my daughter, when I gave birth to her, I actually dealt with breathing by taking a deep breath. When I felt the contraction come on, I took a deep breath, and then I started singing a scale. I started high on a pitch, and then by the time I arrived on the lowest pitch, it eased up. So yeah, after 20 or 30 seconds, it eased up a little bit. So the second book is Natural Birth Secrets by, excuse me, I don't know, it's because I just got through eating, by, and I can't, it's not letting me, this Kindle, it just wants to, hold on, Anne Margolis. And then I'm reading, right now I'm actually reading the Natural Pregnancy book, and I love that one. This is good. And I'm also reading a book by, it's a German lady. She's called Sarah Schmidt, Schmid. She also has this book in English, and in German it's called Alleingeburt. What is it in English? What is it now? I can't remember the term. What is it? What is the term when you're having your baby all by yourself? Can't remember now what it is in English. That doesn't mean that's what I'm going to do. It's not what I'm going to do. But I just love her knowledge about natural birth and nutrition and a lot of things that you can do to help the natural process. No, I'm not going to just have the baby without midwife, without doctor. No, the babies, it's two. But it's just interesting to me to just gain more knowledge. So those are all the books that I'm reading. And if you're here in the live, please let me know in the comments. Say something, because I feel a little lonely here. Um, I've been getting a lot of comments below some of my videos about some of you who are currently planning a transfer, or who, who are just had a transfer or had it failed and planning another one. I think it's so individual. And like I said in one of my videos, you really have to know what's going on with your body. And always remember that any doctor, they try to do their best and they know a lot, but there's one thing they don't know. They don't live inside your body and they don't know what it feels like. And I can only repeat it, body awareness and having on your radar, the more natural, the closer you live to how a human being was supposed to live as far as nutrition and lifestyle goes. Of course, we don't live in the forest anymore, but uh, the closer we live to that, I feel that your body tells you a lot. And I'm totally aware of the fact that some of you, or some of us here, we have conditions where we have to take medications or have been taking medications for years. And that does change things quite a bit, because your body awareness does change when you start taking medications on a regular basis. But I very much believe in that, if you try to live very close to how nature intended your body to live, then when you give it a little bit of help, you have a really like good chance of success. I just feel that, to me personally, it always felt like, after a failed cycle, I mean, we tried to conceive naturally. We did once when I was 40, 45, about to turn 46. We conceived naturally, but I lost the baby at about 7 weeks. I had a natural miscarriage. And then last year, after the frozen embryo transfer, I had a miscarriage at 10 weeks because of a blighted ovum, meaning the embryo never developed. So those were both, I don't know, of course, probably both were due to some chromosomal defect. So there's nothing I could have done, you know, to actually help the outcome of the pregnancy, because if something is wrong with the embryo genetically, then it doesn't matter how healthy your uterus is, how well circulation works, it all doesn't matter. So really kind of knowing, having a feeling about what it is, like doing a lot of cycles back to back with a lot of medications, my feeling always told me it's best to let my body get to a good baseline to where I feel my natural cycle works well as I can get it, as I can support it to work. And then going from that point, instead of doing, I know I'm always anxious. I'm someone, it's like if something fails, I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's do it again. Don't give up. And by the way, I have the saying here. You may have seen it. I don't know if you can see it the right way. It might be backwards. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. I get this on my wall. It's very much my motto in life, because I'm someone like that. I'm not, if something is my dream, I'm just gonna keep going until it comes true. If there's anything I can do to make it come true, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. And so I totally understand that it's really hard to not try right away again. But personally, for me, it just didn't feel right after a failed cycle to just start again. And also, it didn't feel good to me to start like with estrogen, because my natural cycles were good for my age. I mean, I don't know what's good for your age, but I mean, there are 25-year-olds that don't have like a clockwork kind of cycle. We're not machines, and maybe there may be 50-year-old women who have a cycle that they can totally rely on, that is very regular. So as long as anything natural works, we want to try to take advantage of that. Okay, something else a little bit more fun. We went thrifting yesterday. It's really hard these days to come by. They have those baby and kids clothes and stuff, um, like flea markets here, and they usually happen like throughout spring, summer, and fall all the time. But ever since COVID, a lot of those have been canceled. So I looked this week on it's a branch of eBay here in Germany, eBay Kleinanzeigen. It's kind of like Craigslist. It's just private, people just put stuff up for sale. But what I found was that someone actually did like a garage sale for baby and kids stuff. So we went there yesterday and they had a lot of stuff and I got a lot of cool stuff. So I got a lot of newborn sized stuff, you know, like let me show you a couple things here. I already sorted it. I have an entire box here, but I already sorted some of the stuff. But it is so cool because it's the first things I'm getting for babies and it makes it more real. I mean, look at this. That is so tiny. It's kind of crazy and when I see this, it makes it more real. It's like I can imagine a little bitty head fitting in here. And with twins, chances are that they might be smaller than the average singleton baby when they're born. And that is just crazy how tiny this is. And then, things like these. This is what I was looking for most. It's going to be January when the babies are born. So having onesies with a foot, because it's going to be cold. Socks, I don't know, for my daughter, socks never worked when she was little because she would always lose them because their legs go crazy all day long. They just wiggle around, and something that you can just open from the bottom all the way to the top so you don't have to mess with the head. So I got a bunch of these. Let me show you just a few things. And there's another one. And I got neutral colors because, yes, the doctor said probably it looks like a girl and a boy, but you know how that goes. It might be one of the next ultrasounds. It's like, maybe two boys. It's a little easier to see for boys. And then something like this. Some of these, they're tiny, but they're going to be even too big. I remember my daughter when she was born, even the smallest size, it was huge on her. And she was born just 6 days before her due date, which, is very normal. She was great, but she was just a tiny baby. A lot of people ask me, was she early? I'm like, no, she's not a preemie. She's just small. And to this day, she has the tiniest feet. Her body size, she's as tall as most other kids, like girls in her class, but she has the smallest feet. Like she has small feet, and she always had these cute little footsies. But something like that. It's so cute to me. It's just crazy. It makes it so real. So now I'm looking into what kind of stroller do I need? Because we live in a small town. We also have a dog. So we need to cover. Hi, Andrea. It's so good to have you. Now I don't feel so lonely. Someone's here in the chat. We live in a small town. So going out with a dog all the time, so meaning out in the fields, I need something with not small wheels, but bigger wheels. But at the same time, I don't need anything so extremely heavy and bulky to where I can't take it along in the car because we're going to have to go places with a car also. So I'm still thinking about which one. I'm thinking about what is it? Thule, Urban Glide double. They have it as a double. If I have a baby registry, I don't. Here's what I probably, if some friends or family want to contribute, I will probably just ask them to give me some Amazon gift certificates. You can buy them at any grocery store here, like they have them like for 20 or for 50. You can get those gift certificates. It's the easiest. But also, I thrifted like this entire box. Let me show you. This entire box of baby clothes. So I got some newborn size and I got some 3 to 6 months, because you never know how fast they're going to grow. So this entire box full of baby clothes cost me 29 euros. I know, it's tons of stuff. And so that's pretty good. So I'm going to try to get as much stuff used as possible, because especially clothes, I'm going to use them for such a short time. Babies grow so fast. Hi, Tanika. It's so great. Oh my goodness. It's so awesome that you're here. I always want to go and come to your lives, but the time difference doesn't always work out. And I'm always rooting for you. I also follow you on Instagram, so maybe I know more than some other people on YouTube who follow you, but yes, it's awesome that you're here. Oh, my hair looks amazing. It's just a total no makeup and no hair fixing up day. Thank you, Andrea. We are so happy and we're so blessed. Every day I tell myself, and now I can start feeling them. It's just crazy. I didn't talk about this on my last update. Both babies were lying, like their heads are like on Thursday when I went to the doctor. Their heads were both on the right side of my belly and both of their legs on the left. So they were kind of stacked up like this. One is more in the front and one is a bit more in the back, but I can feel both of them. But here's the cool thing. I can actually, for the first time, I could actually feel with my hand, could actually feel it. Like last night, I could feel some kicks. So that is so cool. I remember with my daughter, I have a video where you could actually see my belly bulging out. It's crazy. That's going to happen sometime. I'm trying to conceive too. Been trying for 3 years and still no luck. Oh my goodness, that is so. It can just it's crazy, what it does, like your mind, the mind games. Have an OBGYN appointment on September 24th, a fertility consultation. Are you trying naturally? We really wanted naturally, but then instead of wasting time, we thought about adoption, like actually adopting, but here in Germany, due to our ages, it's literally impossible. And we would have adopted from another country also. I don't care what color or race or country that, it would have been from, but it's all crazy, and so I thought embryo adoption is the best thing for us, because it's like adopting a child, except we can just cut out all that trauma. And also I can make sure, I know the mother didn't smoke, the mother didn't drink or take drugs or any of that stuff. So I can try from the beginning to do my best to give the baby the best start. And now we have two, huge blessing. I want to try naturally, but if I have to go the IVF route, I will. Yeah. IVF wouldn't have worked for us either. We could have tried, but I feel like we would have spent so much money, and I'm already 47. So if you're a lot younger, then your chances are really good. But at my age, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter how healthy I am and how fit I am. It's just my eggs are 47 years old. Older than that, because my eggs were there when I even was in utero already, right? Oh, you're only 23. Oh, then if the natural route does absolutely not work for you, probably IVF will work for you, for sure. I mean, if I can get pregnant at 47, I just want to encourage you. You totally can. And there's so much you can do out there. And if you don't follow Tanika, she's also here in the chat. You need to follow Tanika because she's so knowledgeable. She has a lot of videos out there with so much information. I put a few videos about, like the embryo transfer. She has a lot of information because she started out the journey trying naturally. Then she moved on. I don't remember if she did. Yeah, she did own egg. She tried with her own eggs and then ended up at donor egg now, double donor. So, but okay, so Tinika, my embryo adoption was because I went to the Czech Republic. It works a little differently than in the States. So technically it's not like an embryo adoption where you adopt embryos that are left over from people's IVF cycles. And I know that, for you're using donor eggs. I think that's different too than already having the embryos. And then they were left over from some other couple. In the Czech Republic, they always use really young donors and they check them. And the law in the Czech Republic is that there are no open embryo adoptions. And all I know about the donors is just like very, very basic. Very basic. And there's also no contracts or anything. You basically just make a contract with a clinic where you and your partner have to sign that you want to do the procedure. It really doesn't go into any details about the legalities of like, if this is my baby or not, and like, who is genetically the baby's parents or anything. It doesn't. It's just the laws, they all have to stay anonymous. So all I will ever know is that, like those very basic infos, like their age, their eye and hair color, and what their occupation was. And more, I don't know. So they try to pick donors that resemble you and your partner to where, it could be that it's your child. And other than that, and that's why we wanted to transfer too, because we felt like, if they have a genetic sibling, then later, when they get older and old enough to understand, and maybe when they're adults, it feels so much better to them because although they will probably never find out, their exact genetic parents, they will have each other and they will have someone to look at and say, I'm related to this person genetically. And, you always look for things like, oh yeah, it's just like me. And it must come from that side of the family or something. Oh, awesome. I'm glad you're following Tanika already, Andrea. Oh yeah. Catch up on how you're doing. Yes, 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 yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, Tanika, I'm like every day when I look at my when I look at my YouTube and I see another video of yours, I'm like, what when you had those failed transfers, and I just like I was like, asked my daughter, I'm sitting there, I'm like, no way, I cannot believe this. It's like, no, 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 it must have worked. And I'm like, I'm really praying for you and I'm really rooting for you. And then when those cycles failed, I was like, no, 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 it cannot be. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. Transferring to, I know they're more careful in the States about this probably. And in the Czech Republic, I don't know if they're more careful, but I had really literally, other than my age, I have absolutely no risk factors. So I guess they thought I was a good candidate. And my doctor, my OBGYN, I'm so blessed. He's very cool. He's very relaxed. He's not sweating it. And so far, everything's good. He knows me. He has known me for, I don't know, going on maybe 11, 12 years or so. And so, yeah, I guess it was okay. No one said anything because I was like, okay, I would like to transfer too. And they were like, okay, we can do that. And I'm happy. But I'm telling you, I kid you not. Let me see if I can show you my belly. I'm sitting in my bed because I didn't want to disturb anyone downstairs, but it's not funny anymore. I'm only 19 weeks, but you can't really see it, but I mean, can you see this now? This is insane. I feel gigantic. And like I said, it's like I actually learned, my midwife told me, she taught me how to feel where my uterus starts. And when I lay down, I can actually feel where my uterus, and it's already above my belly button, which normally for a singleton, it would be like maybe at 24 weeks, it'll be around your belly button. And I'm already above belly button. And it's so cool. I actually can feel my uterus now. I know how to feel where it starts. And it's really cool because you can actually feel it rounding out toward, when it goes in. It's so neat. And then later when the babies get bigger, she's also going to teach me how to actually feel baby parts. I kid you not, when I talk. It's crazy when I talk. I get so out of breath. It's weird. I'm a professional singer, and I can sing. Singing and working out is just fine, but talking, it's like, I guess because when you talk, you don't really take control of breaths. It's just like, so let me read your comments now. Thank you. Thank you so much, Tanika. Okay, can someone who is diagnosed with herpes still go through IVF? Yeah, I think, yeah, Tanika would know about that. I don't know about that. So, because I never had anything like herpes. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. My bump. I feel, I see the midwife every 4 weeks, and I also see my OBGYN every 4 weeks. We do an ultrasound once a month. And I also see my midwife once a month because I need my midwife because of the fact she is calm. She helps me be confident. I don't really have any issues at this point, but I love seeing her because I trust her. I've known her for a long time, and I could just talk what's on my heart. With a doctor, it's all just very pragmatic. And with a midwife, we usually have an hour appointment, and we talk most of the time, and then we feel. And I love that. And it's very much for the heart. It's not so much medical stuff. It's so very much for the heart, which I think is very important. And I feel, it's so, I feel this is what I'm supposed to be doing now. It's like, it's the fulfillment, having this bump now, although it sometimes feels like I'm already exploding. I just don't even know where it's going to lead. It's crazy. I'm only not quite, like, just about halfway along for a twin pregnancy, but I don't care. It's so great. And I feel beautiful. I feel like this is my destiny. I don't know, being a mom and being pregnant, it's just it. It's just it. Like, we can have all these successes. Like, I've written a best-selling book, and I'm successful, and I'm a full-time YouTuber with my main channel with the singing stuff. I've been an opera singer and all that stuff. But like, being a mom it's just it. Which doesn't mean I can't do any of the other stuff. I'm still doing my business and stuff. And I'm very, very blessed that I have worked so hard in the past few years. Because of my daughter, I had to find a way to work from home to where I didn't have to have stress. And I think that's a big factor. I don't have stress in life. My work is relaxed. I'm just home, and I have 3 people who work for me, and I'm just like, make my videos, and I send them off, and then they do their magic. Oh, thank you, Andrea. Definitely. I definitely feel like those babies are gifts. Another really interesting thing, this is, I don't think I've ever told this story on this channel here. I was married a long time ago. I'm not married now. When I was 20, I got married to an American. That's why I don't have a strong German accent. He was Texan. We were married for 12 years. We lived in the States and we lived in Germany and then we went back to the States. We kind of moved back and forth a few times. I met him. He was stationed here. He was in the army, but we never had kids. And we were together for 12 years. And if he had said, we're going to have kids, I would have been the first one to say, yes, here I am. I'm with that. But he suffered from depression and he had a lot. He was not in a frame of mind to want to have kids. It did make me sad, but back then I was like, okay, I'm not that old yet, and I didn't stress it. And fast forward many years, we eventually got divorced after 12 years. It was very hurtful. All of it was very hurtful. And so, but I still have his last name. I actually have a German last name. That was my maiden name, Maurer. But Casey is my actual Freya Casey. That's my married name, and I kept it because as an artist, everyone knew me as Freya Casey already. So I didn't want to change my name after getting divorced. And the funny thing is, he got remarried and he had twins. So they were like Casey twins. I think they're about the age of my daughter. And now there's going to be another pair of Casey twins. It's because they're going to have my last name, and it's just kind of, I don't know what to call it. It's not interesting or funny. It's almost like full circle. I don't know. It feels like full circle. And I don't really have a lot of contact with him anymore. It's just, he got divorced again, and his partner now is just not easy stuff. But yes, stress definitely has a huge impact. Stress is like poison. Stress and sugar are the two worst things for your body. That's just me. It's like, if you can avoid sugar and stress, you'll be golden most of the time, unless you have like really huge issues already. But stress and sugar, those are the two biggest factors in today's world, I feel, that cause a lot of health problems. And stress doesn't only mean you're doing a lot. I've always been doing a lot. But it's what are you feeling inside? Do you feel it's too much? Or do you feel laid back and relaxed about it? Oh, yeah. Yes, please. Do I have to do anything for you to be a moderator? Oh, add moderator. I got you. Okay, you're a moderator. No, we don't need any voyeurs. We don't want that. I don't know if there's a way to keep people from, well, of course you can't, I don't think you can keep anyone outside of a live stream. I think it's public. As soon as you make it public, anyone can watch it, but you can, I know in the comments, you can tell YouTube to only allow comments that are from your subscribers. Oh, you're asking about how much does IVF cost in your state? I'm thinking maybe you're asking Tanika, because I'm in Germany. But let me tell you what I paid in the Czech Republic. I think it's ridiculous, actually. It's kind of crazy. I paid, let's see, last year we went to a different clinic. Both clinics we went to for both transfers were great, and I don't attribute the success or failure to anything that the clinic did. So last year we went to IVF Europe in Prague. And that transfer for 2 embryos, it was 3,000. I think 3,000, yes, 3,000 euros, which is, I don't know, a little more than $3,000. I don't know what the rate is right now. So that was last year, and that was a failed, well, Technically, it was a successful transfer because I got pregnant and my HCG went high. Everything looked normal and good, except no embryo grew. The sac kept growing for a while and the HCG kept going up, but then we didn't see an embryo in the sac. So blighted ovum. And of course, that's going to end up in a miscarriage because there's not going to be a baby. And this year we went, because of COVID, I wanted to not go to Prague because in May, that's when I had the transfer. I actually went by myself, and I wanted to go somewhere to where, it was closer, number one, and number two, I could spend a night at a hotel that was still on the Germany side and then have like only a short distance to go to the clinic and then go back right away that day, because you couldn't stay like more than 12 hours in the Czech Republic without having to get like a test, a PCR, to come back to Germany. So I went to Karlsbad. That's the German name of the city, Karlovy Vary, and the clinic's name was Pronatal, and it was, I think, 2,300 euros for 2 embryos. And double blessing. I mean, like, everything fell into place. It was supposed to be a frozen embryo transfer. But then when I showed up the day off, the lady was like, I went into her office and she went over the contract once more. She's like, okay, we have all your paperwork. Is that what we're doing today? We're transferring 2 embryos. I'm like, yes, we are transferring 2. And then she said, and by the way, we have 2 fresh embryos today for you because it just worked out that way. We had a donor come in 5 days ago and fertilized right away. And so the egg was never frozen and the embryos were never frozen, the eggs and the embryos. So I think that did also contribute to chances. And all the statistics you can read, like what's better, fresh or frozen, it always refers to, the same woman having the retrieval and then having the transfer in one cycle, which is not recommended often because of the medications. It's good to take a break and then actually freeze them first and then transfer them in a new cycle. But I came in, I didn't have any retrieval. So no medications previous. All I did was I just did the trigger shot. I ovulated on my own, started the progesterone, and that's all. So to be honest, the clinic actually wanted me to do estradiol, and they also wanted me to do, prednisone. And after all of my research, I decided on my own not doing it. So I didn't do it because according to everything I knew about my hormone levels, they didn't really look at it. And about my history, I decided, no, it's better not to. So I don't know. I mean, the twins are there now. Yes, I did a fresh transfer, and that is so cool. No, I mean, I don't even know. Can I tell you honestly, Tanika? I don't know if that's still the same donor they told me about in the beginning. I was gonna email them sometime about, can you maybe tell me more about the donor? Because I don't know if it was the original one. They didn't really tell me a lot. I don't really care, but for the babies in the future, it would be kind of nice just to know a few things. Now, as far as eye color and hair color, in our family, it could be anything really. I mean, like, I have really dark hair and dark eyes, and Andreas, Romy's dad, he's also dark hair, dark eyes, but Romy has blue eyes and not blonde hair, but she's got a lot lighter hair. And that's from my dad's side of the family because my dad had blue eyes, my brother has the blue eyes, my cousin has the blue eyes, her daughter has the blue eyes and more of the light brown hair. So even if it's blonde child or children and blue-eyed, it'll both cases, we can always tell people Yeah. Our daughter has blue eyes. We have dark eyes, so, my dad, blue eyes, like it's all in the family, which is kind of neat because nobody would think anything is weird about any any way that the babies might look. I don't think anything could be weird. And the donors were both from the Czech Republic, which they look very much the same, very similar to Germans. Yes, definitely the medical history, and they totally screen, they do lots of screening. Yes, medical history is the most important. Yeah, and actually in this case, I think I'm really happy. It seems to be like my daughter has the more, she has more of a tendency to be more like me health-wise. She has no allergies. I have no allergies, no intolerances, nothing like ever. And she I don't know, she ran a fever like 3 or 4 times in her whole life. She's 9 years old now, but she ran a slight fever a few times. And other than that, all we've had was like maybe a stomach bug and like a cold, a regular cold. I've never had the flu in my life as far as I know. Maybe I had it and I don't know. I don't know. But I never had anything that was like the flu. I just had like a cold, like coughing and sneezing, and sometimes worse than others. But I'm really blessed to be, and my mom is very healthy also. She's 76, but she's very healthy. And my grandmother, she went on to be 95, and she was pretty healthy until the end. So, but on Andreas' side of the family, it's horrible. Health history is horrible. So in this case, it's actually better if we have those babies that have their, their genetic background is like screened and no problems in the family. Oh, you grew up with only half your medical history. Oh, yeah. That must be hard, though, to not know really what, I imagine. But I think the most important thing is, health is very important, but I very much believe in epigenetics also. I think that you either can turn on or turn off tendencies because, we're all born with genes, but some genes can be activated or not. And so already in pregnancy, no, I'm trying, of course, my best now to have a positive influence as much as I can influence anything. There's still, of course, the genetics, but I very much believe that you either can trigger something or not. So, of course, we're trying everything to not trigger anything. But that must be hard to not really know the other half of your genetics. I can't imagine. I mean, I don't know. I always, I've read books about it because, of course, also thinking about what am I going to talk to the kids about when they get a little bit older, when they start understanding. But, excuse me, I think the most important thing is to do everything you can with a lot of love and understanding. And just like I'm treating Romy, I'm very open with her, very open also about all the transfers. I mean, she knows a lot about cycle because I just can't hide stuff. Like when I had miscarriage, I didn't like, oh, something going on. I was like, okay, I'm bleeding. She knows that when there's no baby, there's going to be bleeding every month. And she's 9. So in a few years, she's going to start bleeding every month. So her dad is a little bit, oh, she doesn't need to know now. But I'm like, what if the topic arises? I'm not going to be like, oh, but you're too young to know. If the topic arises and she's interested in something and she asks me, I'm going to be very open and blunt in a language that she understands, like age appropriate. She's not at an age where I'll have to tell her about bees and stuff, like she understands certain things and anatomy. And if she's interested in something and she hears things from her friends, and I'm going to be honest and explain things. And there's nothing bad about it, I think. It's just, It's biology. And I'm glad she actually kind of knows what's going on in my body, because I don't have to be like talk weird about like embryo transfers and stuff. And she knows not to talk to other people about it, so she knows it's just our thing. As far as we're concerned now, these are our babies. Like, we don't think about that they could genetically that they're not ours. It's our babies. Okay. Um, oh my goodness. Tanika, help me. Like, who else can we, like, I follow a bunch of people who are also TTC. Hold on, let me see. Actually, let me look at which others I follow. Um, well, some of the ladies that I've followed. There's also what's her name? Like, it's like pregnancy brain big time. I've forgotten a couple things that are like impossible to forget normally, but pregnancy brain big time. What's her name? She always makes these very long lives, and she's had it feels so many cycles. She just Sarah Marie also, I love her. She did conceive already. She's pregnant with her son. She's a few weeks ahead of me. She's so sweet also. I love her. And Seeking Sade. She's the one that I'm talking about. I actually like watching her videos, but she often does these really long live streams, and I don't often have the time for that. And we recently implemented like screen time rules for like the whole family, because it felt like, because I work online and I just wanted to get off the screen and wanted the family to be off the screens more. So I try to watch not like forever long videos, because the family is just more important. But Sarah Marie, and definitely, is it Abby and Mike? Can't ever remember all of these, but they're also trying to conceive, and they have had a few failed cycles. And now I can't find anything in my feed. It's the weirdest thing. I normally have all of these in my feed, but now they're all gone. I'm looking at if I can. One family, I mean, she's not trying to conceive at this time, but one lady I follow, her name is Angela Braniff. They have a vlog channel called This Gathered Nest, and she also has a personal channel called Angela Braniff. She inspires me. They have 8 children. 2 of them are their biological children. They're the oldest. And then they adopted some boys from Africa. They're the couple, they're a white couple, and then they adopted 2 boys from Africa. And then they did an embryo adoption. And they also had twins. 2 of them stuck. But she had an extreme nausea. She had this, and pregnancy brain, I can't think of any of the terms. It was really, really bad. She had to be hospitalized and all that. So she could not get pregnant again. And they adopted another boy, but from the US this time. And yeah, she is inspiring, because I don't know, they bought a farm. They have all these animals and 8 children now. She inspires me because, like, people always tell me like I do a lot, but she's on a whole other level. I don't know how she does it all. But you have to think about it. When you have 8 kids, some of your kids are already bigger, and they can really help look after the smaller kids. So like you, Tanika, maybe, your daughter, she can help you quite a lot. My daughter's only 9, but she can help me a lot more than, Sandra TTC 45. she has a little one now. So, and she's expecting twins and she has medical history. I pray for her because it's must be really hard because that's honestly, and she's a single mom by choice. I don't know how I would do that. I just don't know. It's crazy. Sh- It's such a blessing, but she has a little one and now twins on the way. And then she's going to have three quite small children. That's crazy. Yes, I know she had twins like way back in time and they're already big. She had the twin boys and now she has twin girls. That's another thing. It's like God is just sometimes God has a sense of humor, but at the same time he puts those challenges in front of us that we just need. And I can say I don't think I would have ever started my singing YouTube channel and started my career on YouTube. I would have never written my best-selling book, probably, if it hadn't been for my daughter. Sandra TTC45, Andrea, she also has a channel, and she got pregnant with twins. She's also, I think she's 1 or 2 weeks ahead of me. So almost her twins are going to come around the time mine are going to come. And yeah, it's just God is going to put those challenges in front of us that we need. And I feel that, I think when I have those babies, it's going to give me another push to do things and to get work done. Like not to put more work on me, but to do things that matter. I feel like that has really always pushed me. I do it because of my children. Carissa and Brian. I don't know them yet. I'm going to have to check them out. Carissa and Brian. Okay, thanks. Okay. Thank you. Thank you two ladies for hanging out with me here, at least in the chat. It didn't feel so lonely, and now I had something to talk about. I'm going to wrap it up for now. It's almost 8 p.m. here, and I think maybe we're going to have a second dinner or so. We had dinner really early, and now I'm such a foodie now. I had the most delicious salad I made. I did like baby spinach, pears, and I got some really good pears. And then walnuts, and then goat cheese, and then some nice dressing. Like I make everything from scratch. It was so delish. I saw it on Pinterest, saw that recipe, and I was like, ooh, I gotta make that. It was so good. I ate it 2 days in a row. And I think now I'm gonna make myself a delicious banana split. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just split the banana, and then I'm gonna put some Greek yogurt on there and some cashews. No, I'm gonna put pecans. Pecans are my favorite. I'm gonna put some pecans on there and some cacao nibs, maybe just a little bit of maple syrup. That sounds so good right now. It's sugar, but these are my decadent things. This is my decadent stuff. And I always make everything from scratch. I don't like all these so-called like, oh, this is so awesome, potions and all, like, they claim this is so healthy. I don't know. I like just making stuff from scratch. And I realize I'm in the very luxurious position that I'm home all day and I work from home. Not everyone has the time every day just to make a meal all the time. So, you ladies have, oh, Leah's mom. Yes. Oh, Leah's mom, that's so awesome that you're here also. So yes, thank you everyone for hanging out. I didn't anticipate this to be almost an hour, but it was so awesome to get to know you. Tanika, you actually kind of inspired me to go ahead and do a live because it's fun to talk. Have a great day, ladies, and baby dust to everyone who's TTC. I'm sending you all my prayers that you will get your blessings and that everything will fall into place. I'm rooting for you because I know no one can understand what it feels like who hasn't gone through it and how heartbreaking it is every time when it doesn't work out. It's just the worst. But how amazing it is when you do carry those little miracles inside of you, or if it's one or two, it's just the most amazing thing in the world. And I pray that all of you will experience this if this is what you are wanting. Oh, yes. Oh, Jolonia, that is so awesome. That is so amazing. I'll do probably another live sometime, and then we can chat some more. Thank you. I love you all. Baby dust, and always, like this. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. You don't want to give up. Don't ever give up. Bye.